Hey, everybody, welcome to the 10K Project. Very excited to have our guest here today. We're like during the month of July talking about all sorts of careers you can get into. And tonight is all about landing your dream job in tech. I often say that with tech, it doesn't just mean coding. There are a lot of other things you can do in tech. So tonight we have Crystal here. She is here to talk with us about getting a tech job. If you are starting from zero, you don't know anything about it, she works with a program called launchcoders.org, and she's here to talk about that. Welcome, Crystal.
Hi, Cherie. Thank you so much for having me. I've just tried this new virtual background, and to me, It looks like it's backward. Is it backward to you? Can you see my virtual background?
Can everybody let her know? I can see it though. I see it. It looks fine to me. I can't read it because I'm on my cell phone.
Yeah, it's pretty small. But I just, from my point of view,
it's gonna look flipped, and that's correct. So it looks right to us.
We see a panel and a blue background. Okay, that's good. That's what you're supposed to see. So yes, but to me, it looks like it's flipped. And so I just don't want to have a poor representation when I'm, there's really good data there in that panel. And I'm sorry if it's so small, but I'll go over it during my talking points. Super excited to be here. Thank you, Sharnetta. I appreciate that. So very excited.
And I just want to let everybody know that it's super dark. Yeah, it's super dark where I am because we just had a tornado, and literally there's like no lighting hardly in our office. So yes, so Cherie is just going to have the struggle lighting tonight, but all of the content is going to come from Crystal. So with that, tell us a little bit interested in tech. How did you kind of learn, about the industry?
Well, first off, I just want to thank you for going. The show must go on, as people say, and for you to, proceed with the interview despite all that you've been through. You're amazing. And thank you again for the opportunity. So my name is Crystal Crump. I am Managing Director of Company Relations at LaunchCode. I've been with the organization for about 5 years. LaunchCode is a national nonprofit. Our mission is to build a thriving workforce, an alternative pathway for people that are seeking career and opportunities in the technology industry. And we started in 2013. Here in St. Louis. I'm not sure if I said it. We're headquartered in St. Louis, but we have offices in other cities, in Kansas City and also Philadelphia. And so we run free classes for individuals that are seeking opportunities, tech-related, tech-focused education, job-focused training for free for individuals, and then help them with job placement once they are completed the program.
And if somebody is not in either of the cities that you talked about, you also said that people could take classes online, right?
Correct. So classes are offered virtually. Before the pandemic, that's one of the horrible things happened during the pandemic. But one of the good things is the emergence of virtual opportunities, virtual and remote education, virtual and remote work opportunities. And so LaunchCode offers classes currently virtually, and will in the future have some classes more on a hybrid, a couple days in the office or in person. There are great benefits to being in person and being in community with like-minded individuals. But then there's also opportunities to educate even more people outside of our designated office locations when we open it up virtually.
Great. So tell us a little bit about just technology, period. What are some of the opportunities that people could even consider if they, maybe they have a high school degree, maybe an associate's degree, or they had been in another industry for many years and they're thinking about getting into tech. Just walk us through some of the basic things that they should know.
Absolutely. So LaunchCode is designed for individuals that have zero coding skills. You don't need to be, super like a math genius or, all into any particular technology or coding language prior to coming to Launch Code. There are a number of positions and opportunities available. So Launch Code's education focuses on web development. We all use technology in our mobile apps, online, so desktop applications. All of those things run because there are people that do the coding on the back end. And so Launch Code's education, again, takes people from zero coding skills all the way through knowing how to build a full stack web application and being able to show employers that you have the hard skills to do the job. And Launch Code also, we help individuals with job readiness skills. So preparing for technical interviews, doing mock interviews, building out a technical resume, just feeling more confident in your skills and ability as you launch into technology. So some of the career opportunities that are available are software developer or engineer, project manager, product manager, data analyst. There is so much data that needs analyzing in all the web applications, and data equals, money and funding opportunities for most companies. And so data engineering is an option. Database administration, most applications have a database of records, and the companies, of course, need someone to manage those databases. So database administration is another opportunity. Mobile application development is a special, is one other niche area where individuals can work. And those are just a few.
And does Launch Code help with like all of those options and opportunities?
For the most part, yes. So Launch Code's education provides the foundational skills that you can use to then launch into a number of other careers. We're setting the foundation and giving individuals and learners in the program the fundamental skills to then learn and grow. We're just the start, taking people from zero skills to enough to be dangerous, enough to get a job. You have,
Get a job.
once you get through our program, it's really rigorous. It is designed for working adults to have work during the day and come to class in the evening, part-time, 2 nights a week. And by the end of the 6-month class, you have the skills, but it doesn't stop there. There's so much to learn, and we encourage and help individuals. Okay, now that you have the foundational skills, what career options interest you, and how can we help position you to keep learning and get a job in that field?
Great. So then let's kind of break down some of the options. So you mentioned project management and product management. I know that there are quite a few project managers in our community. And I actually happen to be a huge fan of product managers. And a lot of people have never heard of that as a job before. So I first want you to start off with those two, because they're probably less scary for people than some of the software development and coding things. Tell us a little bit about what a product manager is, some of the things that people would do, and maybe even like a potential starting salary for something like that.
Sure. So product management is similar to project management, but product management is taking a software application, a product, a software project, and understanding the features, walking the development of the project from initial phase through production, coding. It's helping relay the business needs of what that application should look like, the cost, the budget, the features, and it's being the go-between liaison between the technical team and the business and more administrative side of the project. So it's someone that oversees the project and is managing barriers, and as the technical team may be running into, I don't know, delays or different challenges throughout the project, that they are really helping to keep the project on track and delivering hopefully the outcome in the time frame that was initially developed.
Yeah, and I went to a group that was like an association of product managers. I went to one of their networking events once. It's a thriving community there. I would suggest to people, if it's something you want to think about, going to like different SaaS conferences. SaaS stands for Software as a Service, or AI conferences, or other types of tech conferences. Product managers are always needed whenever you're about to launch a new product. So, and big companies like Microsoft and Oracle has them, all the way down to startup companies. So, I'm definitely a fan of the product management as well as the project management. What kind of salary would somebody, potentially make if they were a product manager?
Sure. So it really depends on the region. Where you live matters, and kind of what the region starting average salary. So I'm in the Midwest, and for those roles, typical salary starts around 60,000. And so it really depends on the company size, the region you live, but there's so much research that you can do around salaries, and also your previous experience plays a role in the salary negotiation, your years of maybe prior education, all the things factor in. But once you have the skill, you have 12 to 18 to 24 months of experience. You can, with the way the world and workforce is, there are opportunities that are remote, and the salary and the earning potential could be in the six figures, 100,000 or more.
I love it. I love it. I always say to people, you could change your tax bracket in 2 years, really. And for some people, if you're making 30,000 now and you take product management at launch code and you're able to get a $60,000 job, you doubled your income right there. So I definitely think that people should consider that. Let's say that somebody's a little bit more brave and they want to do one of the data analysts, or data management, work with data. Talk to us a little bit more about some of the opportunities there. Like what does that type of job entail, and what
Sure.
kind of salary people can expect there?
Okay, for sure. So there are a number of positions in the data realm, and it goes from data analysis, which is like data visualization, creating reports and graphics, helping to tell a story with using the data. And so it's a 6-month program offered by Launch Code as well. And again, in the Midwest, the starting salary is around 60,000. But then there's also like database administration, which is also wrangling data, managing data, helping to configure databases for users. And it's basically helping to set up the database. And so the information can be imported, and there's automation of processes with data. So like data automation is, and so again, with that, starting around 60,000 on average, but definitely the earning opportunity can be in the six figures or higher with a year or two of experience. And then data engineering gets more in depth with data, math, certain coding languages, scripting languages, and the starting salary there is upwards of 80,000. And so just depending on your background, your interests, what you
And does
like
it
to
still
do.
take 6 months?
Yes, the initial course is 6 months. And from there, you would hopefully be in position to get a job and keep learning and growing, advance your skills on the job through Launch Code's job placement. And within 12 months from there, you probably are well positioned to have a permanent salary and increased earning potential.
Right. And then the third group that you had mentioned was like around software development. So, the coding and things like that. Again, walk us through some of the job descriptions, some of the things that people would do within those jobs, and starting salaries there.
Sure. So software development, there are so many positions available. There's a huge gap, and that's why LaunchCode was created, to decrease the tech talent gap. So there are roles that are within software development solely focused on the back end, kind of the database, the coding that connects the website with other websites and other technologies. And then there's the front end. There is the user, the part of the web page or the website that individual users interact with. And then there's individuals that know how to manage both the front end and the back end and be able to pull them together. And so LaunchCode's program focuses on giving individuals the skill set to be able to do both. And some people lean more heavy to the back end and not so much on the graphic design or the user experience. And then some individuals are more creative and just naturally want to enhance the user experience and work more with the front end. And then there's people that are, working to do both and can build out the full website. So whatever your interest is, there are opportunities there. And then there's mobile development, and that's either developing in iOS, like the Apple application, or mobile development in Android's application. So you can be a specialist in those things. I'm trying to think. There's also like quality assurance analysts, individuals that test the website. And so there's coders that build it and put it together. And so there are opportunities for individuals who want to just, be more on the quality side and make sure all the functions and functionality of the application work properly. So there are opportunities there as well. Starting salary, again, in the Midwest, mostly around 60,000, but depending on the company, the specific job that you're applying for, it can be upwards of 70,000 or more.
Okay. Yeah, I knew a woman a long time ago named Nancy who was like phenomenal at testing software. Like she would walk in and she would say, my whole job is to break the system. And she loved it. She loved it. So that quality assurance, that QA, if you're really good at that, you pay attention to the details, you're the type of person that clicks on every button, that reads everything, that, make sure that things work. That could be a really great job for people, definitely.
Absolutely. So, you don't have to be a heads down coder anymore. People used to think I would just be a software developer. I would go in, head down, not talk to people. Well, that's changed. The soft skills matter. Being able to relate to the business side of the house of the organization, having those transferable skills, those soft skills, they correlate really well with like the product manager or even in software development. So just having good soft skills, being able to communicate, in addition to having the technology skills, there are tremendous opportunities.
Yeah. And some of the people in our community are older, more seasoned, more mature people. Talk to us a little bit about taking your history in healthcare, for example, or education, or in another industry, adding tech on top of that, maybe adding data analysis or things like that on top of that, and being able to launch a new career for yourself.
Yes. So many people that come to LaunchCode for the education and to get upskilled are career changers. These are people that have been in another industry for a number of years. Those transferable skills, the in-depth knowledge of that industry, along with the tech skills, make you very highly marketable to companies that are in that area. So depending on the industry, if you have, like you said, if you were a nurse before coming to LaunchCode, or trying to think of another, a teacher. Yes. So you have good people management, you have, good bedside, communication, you are already comfortable using technology. And now you have the data skills or the technology skills. Those two lend really well to career opportunities. And most people are already using technology in their role anyway. So teachers tend to look for, or maybe have interest in working for an online education platform, or people in the medical field. There are patient databases, charting systems, they all run on technology, and the data in there again, and being able to understand the language and utilize your previous experience with the technical knowledge, it just creates even more opportunity.
Yeah, and everybody, I can see your questions and in the chat. So if you have questions, please, this is an opportunity to ask Crystal those questions. So again, I apologize for the lighting issue, but the show goes on, as Crystal says. So talk to us a little bit about diversity in tech. There is this notion that it's mostly white, mostly male. Can Black people really thrive in tech? Can women thrive in tech? What are you seeing?
Absolutely. I think we can do anything. Women, and Black people, we're resilient. We're very smart. We're very dedicated. It's possible. Programs like Launch Code exist to help people go from zero to job ready. And there is a huge underrepresentation of diversity, equity, and inclusion. And many companies have metrics and initiatives and goals focused around diversifying their technology workforce. And so the opportunities are like, there are so many opportunities. I'm always wondering, why don't more people take advantage of this? Why these programs are free? You can learn these things in a short time, 3 to 6 months. Our programs are 6 months, and then there's about a 2-month job readiness training. So in 8 months, you can go from, not having coding skills to being job ready. Some people can get through the curriculum faster. But in under a year, like you said, your tax bracket, your earning potential can double. And so, yes, it's available. The curriculum, Launch Code's curriculum, is developed as a community. So there are, it's rigorous, but there are resources that are built in. So we are working with people to build up their skill in a certain level. There are small work groups with our programs so that individuals can have more hands-on with peers and with their teaching assistants and staff. But diversity, equity, and inclusion across the board is a huge initiative for many companies. And so, yes, there are definitely opportunities. I've worked with a company that's headquartered here in St. Louis, but looking to grow their footprint in the Detroit area. They really wanted to invest in the Detroit area and find diverse candidates. And so they worked with us to recruit individuals there from that community. And then they went through our 6-month program and were offered jobs at the end of the 6-month program in software engineering with that company remotely, because the company's headquartered here.
That's great.
Yes. And so I think there are opportunities everywhere, and individuals need to apply themselves, see themselves in that position, go for it, give it a shot. You have nothing to lose, really.
I agree with that. I think that, if you're stuck right now with whatever you're doing, a year from now is going to happen anyway, so you might as well just say, okay, I'm going to carve out some time. I'm a fan of like making the commitment and then going to your schedule and carving out time. If you carve out time to go to church, if you carve out time to go see Big Mama, if you carve out time to go to the gym, for example, then I think it's just a matter of carving out time for this as well, for your classes, for your studying, your study groups, whatever. And I tend to be a fan of study groups because it kind of forces me, to know that this is the time I'm going to do my homework, even if it's like a virtual Zoom study group, where we just sit there and we kind of go over whatever the lessons are. So, yeah.
It's so important to invest in yourself. For the short period, there's opportunity costs. You are going to have to, put one thing aside or forego something, but it's so worth it. And it's debt free at the end, Launch Code's program. So that is the other thing. There's no loans you're taking out, or there's no barrier really, other than your time and your commitment to studying and working hard to get through the program.
I love that because when, I'm 46 now, and when we were coming up, we had to go to college. We had to take out, a crazy amount of debt. These young people these days don't have to do that. They can literally come to a course like yours and, like you said, be debt free and not only get the skills, but also get the job readiness and potentially introductions to employers as well. So I kind of wanted you to talk a little bit about the job readiness. What are, just like overview before we even talk about what Launch Code does, what are some of the mistakes that people make when they think about becoming and preparing themselves for a career in tech?
I think just a mindset, just thinking that, you like I was saying, you have to be math genius, thinking like talking yourself out of it. I'm not the right fit. I'm not the traditional coder, preparing themselves for new opportunities and just being open to receiving the education, mentoring, growing their community, and stepping into the uncomfortable, which is, not easy, but it's really rewarding, the growth and the opportunities that exist on the other side.
Yeah. Now talk about the job readiness just within your program. What are some of the things you do to help people get prepared for the jobs?
Sure. So after Launch Code's education program is done, individuals have completed all the requirements. They've gone through the curriculum. We have what we call liftoff, which is helping to prepare a project that you can put on your resume and actually show employers that you have the hard skills because you've contributed or built a technical project that you can speak to during interviews. We also help with mock interviews because technical interviewing and preparing to get a job in tech is a little bit different. There are still behavioral questions. Tell me about a time when, or those sort of, tell me about yourself. Why do you want to work here? Sort of questions. But then there are sometimes technical questions. What is your experience with Java, or what is your experience with Tableau or certain technologies that you have listed on your resume? And so we are just helping candidates in our programs to prepare for those sorts of questions and feel more confident going into it. And also video interviewing may be new to some people, depending on, the last time they were looking for a job. Yeah. And so preparing your project, your resume, your interview presence, and kind of getting comfortable answering those behavioral and technical questions are part of our job readiness program at Launch Code.
I love that. So final question for you. Well, two final questions. Number one is the program is completely free, right? No surprise, invoices or anything like that when we make $1 gazillion, right?
No, and that's a good thing. I know a lot of people think this is too good to be true. There's no way. No, really, it is free. It is, it's a nonprofit organization. We really want to reduce barriers for individuals that are seeking opportunities. So you don't have to take out a loan for an expensive boot camp or dedicate 4 years and go into massive student loan debt. It is completely free to participants.
I love that. And that was one of the reasons why when I saw your post in LinkedIn, I didn't even know it was free. I was just like, I just want to talk to you. And then when you said it was free, I'm like, oh my goodness, definitely got to bring you here. So the final question that I have for you is talk about some of the employers that you're engaged with within Launch Coders, within Launch Code.
Yeah, sure. So Launch Code works with employers of all sizes, large companies, mid-sized companies, startups. Most of the companies are located in the cities where we have operations, in the St. Louis region, in the Kansas City region, or in the Philadelphia market. However, we have the ability to work in any other market. And some of our companies are headquartered here, but have hubs in North Carolina or Denver or Detroit. And so companies of all sizes, all industries, every company is a tech company. I'd like to say every company has some aspect of IT, whether it's IT support and customer service and the systems that run those, or if it's larger systems that have older technology. So I work with a number of companies that run on mainframe. Mainframe is a very older legacy technology, but it's still around. And many companies are moving away or trying to move away from mainframe and move into newer technologies, but those systems still exist. And so they need people to that they're also, have an influx of people retiring. And they still need people to manage those systems along with managing the newer, more innovative technologies. And so whether, and at LaunchCode, we talk to our learners and people in the program about your preferences. What kind of company are you looking for? What is your industry lean to? Where do you feel like you would be best fit? And be open to maybe expanding your view a little bit outside of that, just more niche. Some people, I want this dream job at Google. I get it. I want that too, or at Apple. But sometimes you have to start, maybe at a smaller company and gain the experience. But just it's mostly at LaunchCode, companies in those regions of all industry, of all sizes. In St. Louis, we are fortunate. We have Anheuser-Busch and Boeing and MasterCard, and I'm trying to think of some other larger companies. Yeah, I'm trying to think of some other larger companies that are in our headquartered here in St. Louis. Centene is another company partner that we work with. But then there's a number of financial companies, Edward Jones. So companies of, again, all sizes, and then the startup community. And so individuals that are just starting out and need IT professionals, we work with those individuals as well. So as long as you have, we encourage companies to bring on launch coders, give them a try. They are junior. Individuals from our program don't have the technical work experience, but they have passion, drive, and aptitude. They are very smart and very flexible. And many are, like we talked about, career changers that have transferable skills, that are more mature, that can see things a bit different than the typical college grad can see. And so we encourage companies to think different, give candidates from our program a shot. Even with limited work experience in tech, they have the foundational skills and can thrive in a short amount of time, given the opportunity.
Yeah, I would say to people as well, don't sleep on the smaller companies. Be careful with the complete startups, because unless they have like real funding, sometimes the financials don't necessarily work out well for them. But like companies that maybe have been around for 10 years, and maybe it's not a Google, but maybe it's a mid-sized company, or even better yet, like a company doing $30 million to $50 million a year. Well, what typically happens is you get more experience because they don't have as many people. So they'll like give you more opportunity because of it. And that was like how I built my resume within the financial world, was when I went to work for, a nice $40 million company and helped grow it. So that's just something that I would really suggest to people. If you're a go-getter and you really are looking like for a career, consider one of the mid-sized, smaller companies that are out there. So
I completely agree. There's so much opportunity, like you said, at a startup, because you have to wear many hats and you have to be flexible, but you're also going to get so much experience in the process. Yeah. But funding is also important, like you said, just making sure that the company has, funding is key as well.
Money.
Yes.
Yes, it is. So tell us how people can get in touch with the program. How do they apply? Do you have like a cohort that starts at a certain time? All of those logistical things.
So launchcode.org is our website. There's a number of there's frequently asked questions and a lot of helpful information there. Courses are run twice a year, typically in Kansas City, and about 4 to 6 times a year in St. Louis, twice a year also in Philadelphia. Sign up for the newsletter, I would say, subscribe. And so you are constantly getting updated information about when class enrollment opens and when it closes, and other, up-to-date information from LaunchCode if you subscribe to the newsletter. So launchcode.org. and also on LinkedIn.
Thank you so much.
And
Thank you,
social
Crystal.
media. I'm sorry. I was going to say also like
Fantastic.
Instagram
Yes,
and Facebook also, launchcode.org is there.
fantastic. I'm so excited for this. I'm looking forward to us having a long-term relationship, inviting you back every once in a while. You know, as we get new people coming in to the 10K project, we definitely want them to know about this amazing opportunity. So with that, I'll give you final words and then we'll wrap it up for the evening.
Thank you so much again for the opportunity. Technology careers are available. They're accessible. Companies they have initiatives around diversity, equity, and inclusion, and they're looking for more people of color. And so I think if you're interested, look into it, give it a shot. Don't think that this isn't for you. I hope you'll connect with me on LinkedIn. I've put my LinkedIn on there. I would be happy to answer any questions. I'm always curious to know why don't more people take advantage of this opportunity. And so I really appreciate the chance to talk to more people and to tell more people about Launch Code and the opportunities that are available in technology. And that's the career growth and the potential. It's just like unlimited. And so
yeah,
hopefully more people will take advantage.
I mean, I think it's fear. I think people are afraid that they won't be able to do it, probably is like 80% of the people, you know? So I'm definitely like a fan already of the work that you're doing. And definitely, you know, we at the 10K Project will do our part to let people know that this is an option for them. So thank you.
Real quick before I wrap up, I just wanted to go over these stats. So 8,500 people educated in Launch Code, over 2,700 careers launched since 2013. 4 out of 5 of the people that we place into apprenticeships get hired on and into permanent positions, which is over like 80%. And then 2 times the salary and earning income of most people in our program earn twice as much as they did, if not 3 times by the time they're converted into permanent roles and positions with the companies that we place them in. And so I really hope that more people will take advantage. And thank you again.
So too, and Latrice is a fan. She's in the chat saying here that she is looking at the Kansas City opportunity. Everybody here, this will be posted on our YouTube. It will be public because we want as many people as possible to know about Launch Code. So we're not going to hide this information. If you've got young people in your life, if you got people who need to transition, if you got people at a dead-end job, let them know that this opportunity is free. So the money is not the reason that we're not getting into these opportunities. And, you know, have them listen to this information and give Crystal a call or connect with her on LinkedIn, etc. She is very accessible to us. So go ahead, Crystal. Sorry.
I was just going to say it's a workforce development program. So we just ask that you be at least 18 and have at least a high school diploma or GED to enter the program. There is an application, short essay questions, and a problem solving logic assessment, but don't let any of that stop you. Again, it's worth it to take the get into the program, dedicate yourself, and then have the opportunities that await at the end.
Great. And Latrice said, yes, just sent it to a girlfriend who is looking for work. Thank you, Latrice. That is the reason why we wanted to have this tonight. Please pass this on to as many people, put it on your social media, etc. And with that, Crystal, thank you for being here tonight. And, you know, we will definitely have you back. Okay.
Thank you, Cherie. Have a good evening and good luck with everything in the tornado. I'm sorry that happened.
Yeah, well, I'm about to go have a drink at the restaurant next door.
You deserve that. And so, yes, best of luck to you and your family. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Good night.